Um, I decided to push the live back by like 10 minutes because I knew I was gonna have stuff to do. Oh, dang it, I turned the light back on. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. Do I have topics today? Actually, I really don't know. I haven't really been paying attention to stuff like I normally do. So I'm gonna probably just come on my laptop and find some stuff to yap about. let me let me turn this down. Cause I was definitely watching mukbangs a while ago. Let me know in the comments, do y'all be watching mukbangs? Cause I do. Well, it's only certain people that I watch. And it's normally people who have conversation. Like, I really don't just want to watch somebody eat necessarily. I like when there are mukbangs and people talk about stuff. Like, I don't like mukbangs where people just, what's the word? Where they just sit and eat and all you hear is smacking and just chomp, chomp, chomp. No, I want to hear somebody talk about something, whether it's like talking about their daily life or, you know, just talk about something because I don't know, I don't really understand the appeal of mukbangs where it's only chomping. Like where it's only chewing. I just can't get with it. Truly. But why is this acting weird? Let me refresh it and see. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. Oh, I got gas. Oh my gosh. I literally just ate. Coming down the pipe. But anyways, but yeah, why is this acting like this? I have no idea. Let me drop this in here. Oh, it says I'm offline. That's weird. That's suspicious. Man, I can't stand when my Wi-Fi go down sometimes. I really be like, bro, why is it you Wi-Fi, you supposed to be picking me up? Why are you disconnected? And I was really contemplating getting one of them hotspots. I don't know if y'all have ever used a hotspot before, but they are so convenient, especially like during power outages or when you want to go and you don't necessarily want to use internet um internet from other people's stuff. Hey Liam, how are you? I can't abide the concept of mukbangs, just lips and jaw smacking, not for me. I feel it. I feel it. I really like to have somebody talking. Like, if somebody is talking about something and it's a topic I'm interested in, I'm definitely down for a mukbang if they are talking about something. But if they just smacking, oh no. Mm-mm. I need something else to hold my attention. Otherwise, you lost me. You definitely lost me. Now, it's a couple of people that I watch, but most of the main mukbangers that I watch is these two best friends. Their name is Delexis Eats, and they are so funny to me. And I've been watching them for some years now. But they are probably my favorite mukbangers, and it's because they be talking about different stuff going on in their lives and then stuff that's going on in the media occasionally, or they just be, venting or ranting, and their rants are always hilarious. Hey Jasmine, how are you? Not lip smacking. I'm well, thanks for asking. Hope you're well. Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm just I'm trying to overcome my addiction of juice and pop. I've been doing the no juice and no pop for 30 days, and when I tell y'all, it's kicking my ass. Like I I really miss having a nice drinky drink, sweet drink. I really have, and I have 13 more days left. 13 more days. And it was funny because I was talking with my husband about it yesterday, and he was like, are you really counting the days down? I'm like, I for sure am. I for sure am counting the days down. And he was explaining like, it doesn't make sense if you do this and then you hop right back to it. And I'm like, I just want a little Slurpee or a little slushy or something. You know what I'm saying? It don't gotta be nothing. It's not a big deal. You're almost there, girl. It's I don't know. I don't like for a second. I really was sitting here like, why did I even decide to do this? But I thought about it and I'm like, I know why I decided to do this. It's for health reasons. Oh, but then there's also the factor of, so I'm supposed to be dropping my week 2 update, and I will say I have seen so many good results from not drinking juice and pop for the past 2 weeks. And it's so surprising to me. Like stuff that I never really thought about is impacting me. And but keep in mind, I am working out too, which I've been having to push myself. I really have been having to push myself to work out. And I'm trying to do 3 times a week. Y'all, I just be wanting to let myself go. I really do not be wanting to work out, but I will say after I work out, I literally be feeling so much better after I do it. Ooh, can't wait to hear all about it in a video. Yeah, I'm gonna try to post it either tomorrow or Saturday, cause I've been doing good about keeping up with my uploads this month. Actually, I'm proud of myself. It's a couple things I need to reward myself for. I'm definitely rewarding myself for the no juice, no pop 30 days. Hello, Stero Nemo. How are you? And I definitely need to reward myself for working out at least 3 times a week. Um, and then for uploading on the other channel. Yes. Now I have to figure out this channel. You've been doing good on your other channel. I have. I need to come back to focusing on this one though, because obviously, I haven't really posted videos for real over here. I just go live over here. And I was looking at my watch hours. I'm like, I definitely need to create the content that I said I was gonna create with the uploads going with your best. Thank you, girl. Thank you. I totally get what your husband is saying, as in it's pointless for longevity, health to stop drinking sugary drinks for just a month. However, it does prove to yourself you are able to be disciplined. To stop a vice for a whole month is no joke. Thank you, Liam. And, I'm kind of contemplating doing 60 days. I don't know if I could do that though, for real, for real. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really know if I could do 60 days, but I feel like if I did do 60 days, that would probably help me really kick the sugary addiction a little bit. Um, and I talk about it in, I guess, was going to be my week 3 vlog, because technically this is week 3 now. And I don't know, it's like, it's what do they say? It's like it takes 30 days to set a habit or something like that. I think that's the saying. And I will say I feel like I'm gonna keep up with working out. Um just because I've been liking the way I've been feeling in the results. But the juice thing, I don't know, cuz I even was trying to figure out exactly what I want to do. Like, do I want to stick with doing just no dark drinks? If I want to stick with only drinking pop when I go get fast food, which I think that's something that I will stick to, just because we don't get fast food that often. And I'm like, that would just keep me down to doing 2 pops a month, if that, if we go get fast food. And then I was telling myself, I might do, if I drink juice, it has to be juice that doesn't have corn syrup in it. But the more natural juices are so much more expensive. And it's so crazy how the juices that are cheaper, they have the worst stuff in them. So I heard something like it takes 3 weeks to start a habit in a positive sense. Yeah, and that's the energy I'm trying to be on. Like, I would like to maintain keeping up with what I've been doing because I don't know, it does it's like, well, I talk more about it, but it's like my thought process is completely, I won't say completely different, but I feel like it's helped me because I haven't been drinking juice and pop. It's made me motivated to do other stuff healthy wise. So like the working out, um, just taking better care of my health overall, being mindful of what I consume in general. And again, I don't know what it is about when you get to your 30s and you want to start working on yourself. Because I really wish I would have had this thought process when I was in my 20s. Because I feel like it would have been easier for me to navigate certain things. But, life be lifing. So, but yeah. Do y'all have any plans for this weekend? I, none of that. We will not be doing none of that in here. Don't nobody care about Gucci Man. That's not who we talking about right now. Like, I swear, it was so funny to me how some people will come in here saying some stuff. It's like, what are you doing? What are we doing? No, 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 no. No. But let's see what topics we shall talk about today. Because as you guys know, or if you guys don't know, I normally do cover some topics, and normally it's other people's business. I'm not gonna lie to you. I literally will hop on Reddit and find stuff to talk about because it's always so interesting reading about other people's lives, but also, it's it really makes you appreciate some stuff. Hey Mark, how are you? Cuz it's like whenever I read about the stuff other people be going through, I really be so grateful. Like, and that sounds so bad, but I am so appreciative to God, or like just about different things when I read about some of the stuff people go through. It's just like when I used to be single and people would tell me some of the most horrible stories, and I would just be sitting there like, "Oh my gosh, I am so thankful I'm single and don't have to deal with this." like I don't know. It's just some stuff where you hear somebody tell a story or something and you kind of just evaluate it from the perspective of, man, see, I'm glad I'm not in a situation like that because, you know, I couldn't imagine how to navigate this, or it's like I couldn't imagine dealing with this at this age, I guess. All right, so I found the topic that we're going to talk about today. It says, okay, so the person who's writing this is a 28-year-old man, and his girlfriend is 26 years old. He says, how do I tell my girlfriend that 50-50 doesn't work when she's always the one choosing expensive dinners and vacations? My girlfriend and I have been together for about 2 years and moved in together 6 months ago. She makes 60K, I make 85K, and we can't agree on how to split expenses. She insists on 50-50 for everything, but then wants expensive dinners and vacations that are clearly outside of her budget range. When I suggest we either split proportionally or pick cheaper options, she calls me controlling. Last week, she straight up booked a weekend trip and told me after the fact that I owe half. See, first off, this is crazy to me because if you are with somebody, or just in general, if you plan on going on a trip with somebody, you need to actually talk with them and plan the trip together and not take it upon yourself to just do the trip yourself. And what I mean by that is you shouldn't just go ahead and buy the trip without talking to the person you're supposed to be going with. Because that's crazy. You making these decisions, not even including me. But it says, like, I get wanting nice things, but this is getting ridiculous. We'll go to dinner, and she orders the most expensive thing on the menu, knowing we're splitting it. She books spa days and expects me to cover half, even though I never asked for any of this. Then when rent time comes, she then when rent time comes around, she acts like paying her fair share is some huge burden. Get the F on that relationship is my recommendation. Literally, because my thing is, and all this reminds me of is those situations that we see on social media where the people will talk about how you split the check and stuff when you go with friends. And my thing is, again, people should be able to pay for whatever they spend money on. And if somebody, I know that this is like a relationship thing, but at the same time, it's like if it's coming off as she being a user a little bit. So it's like if you are up here ordering the most expensive things, making these plans without even consulting your partner, you're thinking very singularly. You're not even thinking about what your partner wants, and you're not even thinking about how much it's really impacting things. And the fact that she's also talking about doing 50-50, but then she don't even really want to cover her part of the rent. It's like, why did you bring up the concept of 50-50 if that's not really what you're trying to do? Now I gotta ask, did this just start happening or did he notice before they moved in? See, let's see, because that's a good question, Mark. That is a great question. So it says the math doesn't add up here. If we split everything 50-50, but she's picking all the expensive stuff, I'm basically subsidizing her lifestyle while she gets to live above her means. Meanwhile, I'm the one making sacrifices to cover, her choices. I've tried bringing this up gently, but she either gets defensive or changes the subject. How do I have this conversation without it turning into World War III? I love her, but this financial dynamic is really starting to mess with my head. Anyone else deal with something like this? How did you approach it without coming across like a total cheapskate? Now, Electric, you're not first, but hey, how are you? You book something nice for your partner, and of course you pay the bill. What you don't do is book something for the both of you without the other's knowledge and expect to go half. Exactly. Exactly. Because that is absolutely unfair to the other person. And again, it's like she's not really asking his opinion about the stuff that she's trying to do. She just does it. And it just seems like she's mad selfish. To me, I agree with you, Liam. I would definitely jump this chick because it's like, first off, you inconsiderate because you're not even considering what I want to do. You're not even asking me. You're not even talking with me. There, when it comes to a relationship, it should be two people, and you the one making all the decisions. What about me? What about what I want to do? What about what I want to do with you? It's like you just coming up with these expensive choices and your budget ain't allowing that. And then you looking at me sideways when rent due. Absolutely not. Not some first. Glad I can make you laugh, Rose, bruh. But yeah, like, personally, if I was in this situation, I would flat out tell her, like, hey, listen, I don't even want to do a lot of this expensive stuff. I would appreciate if you talk to me about it. But it's like if you are just making choices and you doing expensive stuff that I don't want to do and it's inconsiderate to me and my wallet, then this probably ain't the relationship for me. And I would honestly tell her, yeah, she probably should just get her own place and move out and we could part ways because it's really inconsiderate to do stuff like that and act like I'm the problem and you being defensive when it's like, girl, if you planning these trips, you need to pay for these trips. It's unfair to make all these decisions and not consider your partner. And that's the thing I will say that I've seen happen with a variety of people where they think very much singularly and they don't really think about or consider the feelings of their person. And it's really unfortunate. Okay, so the next topic. Okay, yeah, we could do this one. How? Okay, so the person who wrote this, that's just what it is, right? So the person who wrote this is a 37-year-old man, and his ex-wife is a 36-year-old woman. It says, how do I navigate my ex-wife's jealousy of anyone I date? Off bat, why do you even care? Like, instantly, I'm like, why do you even care? That's your ex. That's an ex. You should be focusing on whoever you trying to date. But it says, so almost 6 years ago, my ex-wife and I split up. She wanted out and made her point clear and moved out after a few months of an in-home separation. I was not in favor and would have preferred to work on things, but I was also not particularly happy and didn't put up much opposition to her leaving. At the time, we had a 1.5-year-old son who is now 7. We officially divorced a year and a half after she moved out. We did not talk much early on, except about our son, and our divorce was amicable. We barely argued over anything. 50-50 custody, I paid her out some money, gave her a car, child support, etc. She began dating and living with someone actually very quickly that I never commented about or said a word to her about. I began dating someone about 6 months later, and I vividly remember a long barrage of highly critical texts and conversations back then when she found out. My relationship fizzled out for various reasons, but she stayed with the same partner. They got engaged about 2.5 years later. As my son reached school age, we began both being present at lots of school and sporting events, along with her fiance. We were cordial and over time resumed friendship. We were able to attend events together, ball games, school events, etc., and even travel extensively with our son. See, I really like when people can grow up and be able to co-parent without it being no animosity. I don't know. I just love stuff like that where it's like you can put aside whatever your negative feelings were and actually be present for the kids. But anyways, it says, my income has grown extraordinarily since divorce, and I feel like I've been very generous. Oh, wow. He says, I pay $2,500 a month to her, pay for all of her car maintenance, gas, insurance. I have paid to have my contracting crew remodel her home, pay 100% of our son's school tuition, which is $40K, all insurance, medical, extracurriculars, and camps, and have paid for our extensive travel, which is multiple 6 figures this past year. Crazy. Crazy. Why do I feel like people make these scenarios up for attention? Some people probably might, to be honest. So she has a new man, but hating on his new girl. Yeah, I'm so sure. Actually, I've seen that happen many a times in real life where I've seen some women where they would be unhappy and leave, be completely with somebody else. And then what would end up happening is, I don't know exactly what's going to happen in this story yet, but once they find out that the guy is not pining over him, and I've seen this happen from both a man's perspective and also a woman's perspective, where the man would want to lead a woman, he did whatever he wanted to do, and then when the woman starts dating, they lose their S. They like, what's going on over here? Like, why is she dating somebody else? Why isn't she still stuck on me? And it's always so crazy to me when I see people do stuff like that. This is the most bait Reddit post controlling This dude made up a story to get people riled up and comment. Probably. He might have. But I'm still curious to see what happens next, Liam. She needs to move on. She does. So they think they'll go viral with it. Some people do create fake posts, but I'm going to still read it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because I like to critique people's lives. But, anyways, so it says, I will say though, one of the reasons why I do have to agree that this is probably bait, I think it's mad crazy that if you're a man and you're letting your ex-wife use you to this extent, it's actually really crazy to me. Because I could understand if, you're paying for stuff for your child completely. That's one thing. But the fact that you're paying your ex-wife like a variety of different things that is totaling a lot of money. But then again, it depends on what class you're in, because I have to remember upper class handles things so much differently from us. Facts, no man is a victim like that. Not unless they want to be. And even then, it's like, he must have a whole bunch of bank where he doesn't have to care about that stuff like that. But it says in general, I would say we got along, have a group chat together, text plenty, etc. Over the past month or so, two things changed. For starters, returning from our last vacation, her fiance was out of control, drunk on the return flight. And after I asked him to calm down because our son was sleeping, he spent the remainder of the trip being more obnoxious and yelling at me. Hold on, you guys. I have to blow my nose. Hold on. Bro reckons he is fully aware he is paying for her gas. literally, I don't know, man, that's why it could be a fake post. This literally could be some chat GPT AI type stuff. Has too much time has too much time to even write this post. Come on. It's allergy season, y'all. I don't really have allergies. I think it's more so for some reason whenever I start yapping on live, I don't know why, but my nose just gets clogged up. I don't know if it's like a mental thing or what. And it's not every single time, but majority of the time when I hop on here and I start yapping, for some reason, I don't know if I'm like stopping my nose subconsciously or what. I don't know. But anyways, it says I asked him to calm down because our son was sleeping. He spent the remainder of the trip being more obnoxious and yelling at me. In addition, I've slowly started dating someone who works for me. I have not spoken to the ex-wife or fiance to much significant extent since that trip ended a month ago. Yesterday morning, I received a call out of the blue from my ex-wife that I could only describe as unhinged. It began with her complaining that I do not talk to them enough, that I do not want to do things with them, that I'm not giving them enough attention. That's weird. Weirdo behavior. Nobody on Reddit has exponentially increased their income. Red flag. Probably, bro, because I'm like, in this economy, I don't know. Oh, she lonely. She probably is lonely. And she probably looking at her fiance sideways after he embarrassed her on that flight when he got drunk. But it says it went on to complaining that she wanted more child support because I do not give her enough. Crazy. How don't you give her enough when you are paying for everything practically? But it says she said she was worried I was not going to continue inviting them to things with us. What? Why? And I don't know. This sounds so insane to me, but I know people do things differently when they get divorced and when they have kids. But at the same time, I'm like, to me, I always assume you would still. I get being present for the kid, like for birthday parties and stuff like that, graduation, stuff like that. But it's like, you are ex-wife. and you expect me to still invite you to things? You a little too friendly familiar. You got a whole man. Do stuff with his family. Just keep quiet and let her marry that dude. Child support will look at both their incomes versus his one income. Exactly. This is number one BS post. So it says, from there it turned worse. She had learned about who I was dating from my son, as he has been around her a couple of times. Wait, what? Okay, this is where I really do believe this is fake, because actually, I can't even say that. So, you know what's a baffling thing to me? Is when people casually introduce their children to people they're dating. And what I mean by casually, I mean like you haven't been talking to somebody for like a month. But it's happened to me before where, I was talking to somebody and they introduced me to their kid within the month of me meeting them. And I always thought that that was so weird to me, because I'm like, you shouldn't be inviting people to meet your kid, like, especially if you're just talking to them. It should be a long-standing thing where it's like, okay, I've actually been dating you. I made you my girlfriend and we've been talking for like a year or two, and now I want to introduce you to my kid so that I know that you're going to be around. Because to me, in my opinion, you need to be very careful about inviting people, like introducing people to meet children, because if they see you much often, they'll adapt to you, and let's say stuff don't work out, their feelings will be hurt once they get used to you. And then it's also the factor of you just don't want to bring anybody and everybody around your kid. So to me, this is why I'm starting to think this is BS for real, because I'm like, he literally just said that basically over the past 2 months he been talking to somebody new, but also the fact that he's also let his son be around that person a couple times. Like, to me, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's lame. Y'all, I know now I would sound like a BS commenter, but I have a story. What's the story, Liam? Yeah, but we had common sense. Because, again, it's like, I don't know. I just think it's very suspect to introduce children to people you're not seriously dating for real. And when I say serious, I mean like you haven't been talking to them to actually like vet them for a period of time, because people switch up. But it's like, if you haven't really taken time to know them and then you just bringing them around your kid, like, I don't know, it's just so unsafe for me. Like, I don't know, it just give bad judgment. But where was I? They really do. Where was I? It was a constant berating of her on every regard, arguing my son should never be around her, which I agree, specifically stating concerns about her ex-husband's past drug charges, but just continue from there. So I guess the ex-wife did some snooping on the girl he's currently dating, and she brought up stuff about her ex-husband. It was oddly the same argument I heard years prior from my first separation relationship, down to the what if I call your parents about this nonsense. I hate stuff like that. I really don't like when people try to bring in parents about stuff like this, because it's like, we're grown. Why are you doing this? He says, I am not a confrontational person by any means, but I believe I left off with the saying, she was bat as crazy, and to leave me alone. I believe the argument to be rooted in jealousy, and frankly don't know how to best proceed forward to remain any semblance of amicably. I was taken aback because I frankly thought we were years past any feelings of this regard. The obvious answer is to just ignore it entirely and live my life, but I am sure that does little to allow us to remain amicable to our son. My parents would laugh at that, BZ. Bro. So I can understand her feeling some type of way as a mother because, again, you've only been talking to this chick for 2 months and you're bringing this chick around my kid like you've known her for a long period of time. And I do think so this is the thing. I do feel like when you I don't know because you a lot of people don't know how their baby daddy and baby mamas will be until after the fact that they have a kid, pretty much. So it's like, it's really hard for me to be like, kind of evaluate what type of person you're going to be talking to. But at the same time, I don't know. It's just so crazy to me that he don't see how he wrong with the part about bringing somebody around the kid that you don't really know. Now the other stuff, I agree. She is a little weird. Talking about she want attention. Like, is she saying? I don't know. It's just weird to me. And it sounds like she a gold digger. Like she want more money now that she found out he makes more money. But anyways, bro set himself as the hero and victim in the same post. He did, but he also, I don't know. This probably fake, like you said. Yeah, but would you feel some type of way if he felt some way about her and her relationship? I mean, I'm assuming he don't feel no type of way. Now, if he did feel some type of way, like let's say he didn't know anything about dude. Like she started talking to dude and it quickly introduced the guy, her fiance, to their son. He should definitely have a problem about it. I feel like you definitely have to vet people, evaluate them for a period of time, and then they can meet them. Like I said, I remember in the past where I dated someone for not that long and they introduced me to their kid and I always thought it was really weird cuz I'm like, why would you do something like that when you don't know anything about me? You know? Although that situation was weird in general cuz I ended up meeting the baby mama and everything and she was actually really cool. That's when I should have known that guy was going to be the problem. But anyway, but I don't know. I just think that you can't move how you normally would when you were kidless. You definitely have to evaluate people for a period of time before you bring them around your kid. Make sure it's okay because, but I will say, I feel like, well, I won't say she overstepping with the kid thing, but I will say she overstepping with thinking, oh, I feel lonely, or, oh, I don't want you to forget about us, but also pay me more money, or the way you should come and still invite us on trips. Like, girl, but then I'm also looking at the guy like he's stupid because you've been paying these trips. You're paying for your ex-wife and her fiance to go travel with y'all. That's insane to me. That's really insane to me. Ain't no way I would do something like that. The way he articulated was like he was a great guy and had serially been wronged. Maybe it's true, but I go back to, bro, why are you posting this on Reddit? I mean, people be posting a lot of stuff on Reddit. Like, it's some stuff I would love to talk with y'all about on here, but I can't because of you. I don't think it's suitable for YouTube because some of the stuff that people do ask advice for is actually like, maybe you shouldn't be asking people openly on Reddit stuff like this, but at the same time, I feel like some of the questions or topics people talk about is stuff they probably wouldn't want to talk about with their friends, or they feel like their friends may be biased, or maybe they don't have any friends, or sometimes people do, they just make up stories. Because one thing I have noticed about real life, I've known a variety of people who will literally create and curate stories of stuff that making it seem like it's true that it happened, and it definitely did not. Like, I could literally be right there in the room for a situation, and maybe they completely forgot that I was there, and I was off in the shadows or something, and then they retell the story, and I'm sitting there like, that is not what happened. That is not what happened. Also, the adults in this situation need to have communication and set boundaries. There's only one parent, and there's only one significant other. Yeah, I agree. Like, I don't know. I applaud people who can co-parent where stuff works out, but it's really hard to see some people co-parent and the struggles that they go through, because I just know it's a lot to deal with, and also it's hard to also protect your kid from seeing some of the fallout from it. She tripping. She is. Oh yeah, I know someone like that. I know a few people that will create stories that are not true. But I don't know. It's always been very weird. Very weird. Let's see. Ooh, okay. What else? What else? What else? Okay, I found 3 topics. All right. So the person who wrote this is a 29-year-old woman. Her husband is 28. It says, "My husband buys me the worst gifts and I feel terrible. It's become some sort of an issue with my husband buying me terrible gifts. We've been together 5 years, married for 2. I used to just pick things out or tell him to shop my Amazon wish list. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Telling people to shop your Amazon wish list is one of the best things you could do. But anyways, it says, but the last few years, I've been fortunate to not want for much. So instead, I've asked him to get me a thoughtful gift when appropriate. I was very clear, value did not matter to me, and it was completely the thought that mattered. Well, it's not going great." It's not funny, but she says, "The first time he tried, he ended up just getting me a lot of junk. Think things you'd see in TikTok shop or Instagram ads or on Temu front page. Gimmicky, low quality things that to me did not seem thoughtful at all, let alone worth what he was spending on them." That's her fault. Why you say that? It says, "This past year we had our first baby together and are about to come up on Mother's Day. My first Mother's Day as a mom. What happened to sentimental value?" So, okay. I feel like there are levels for sentimental value, because it's one thing to, for example, if someone gives you a gift and they think you'll like this gift, but you haven't really evaluated stuff that they genuinely like. Or if someone gives you a gift where it's a practical gift. Or if someone gives you a gift because they have actually seen or heard you talk about something and they realize, okay, this would be a great gift to give this person because I know that they're interested in this thing. But to me, based off of what I just recently read, it just seems like this guy is just picking random things. Oh, he was being cheap. That's what it's given a little bit. She asked for it. I feel like, and this is the thing when it comes to gift giving, I think when you're dating someone, it's better if you're specific or if you drop hints multiple times. Now, if somebody doesn't get it and you drop those hints multiple times, it just gives they don't pay attention to you. Like, it really does. Because I've seen people drop hints for gifts and then their significant other will give them something completely different, And to me, all it gives is you don't pay attention to detail. Take that off your resume. You know what I'm saying? When people be like, "Oh, I'm detail oriented." Are you? No. Like, take that off the resume, okay? But I don't know. It just really depends on if somebody is really paying attention to you versus if you're just a picky person, because there are some people that will complain about gifts, but they're just literally picky people. Truly the pickiest of people. But she says, he told me today he got me something and showed me he knows I hate surprises. I just burst into tears, to be honest. It was a sweatshirt with a terrible tacky customization. It's nothing like anything I own or would ever wear. It's a pastel pink graphic sweatshirt with the words Mama Bear and Winnie the Pooh dressed as a bumblebee, the year our daughter was born, and her name on the sleeve. So that sounds really cute, though. It does sound really cute. It sounds like something he might have bought from an Etsy shop, maybe. But she says, I wear all neutrals and black 90% of the time. I only wear graphic tees to sleep in, and it's about to be summer, so it's too hot to even wear a sweatshirt. Okay. Yeah, to me it sounds like, I don't know. He might not know her for real. Hey T Berries, how are you? Y'all say he's cheap. I say she's just looking for items. Do gifts really make a relationship? Okay. So I don't think he's cheap now based off of what was said. However, I think he lacks attention to detail and he probably does not know her as well as he think he knows her. I can give you a real life tragic funny story. Feel free to share, Liam. I'm always down for any story, to be honest. Say I want a designer bag without saying I want a designer bag. That's passive aggressive. But I don't think that's what that is, because she explains that he bought her a gift she can't even use until probably the end of the year. And then she also explains that the gift is a vibrant pink color when she only wears neutrals and her closet is mostly black. You can share it. I can pause. But cuz my thing is, if somebody buys you a color that you don't naturally wear, if your wardrobe is mostly black, that's all you wear and your person knows that's all you wear, and they buy you a tacky vibrant sweatshirt, I'm sorry, do you know me? Do you know me at all? Cuz that would be my thought process. If you buy something that I naturally would not wear, do you know me? That is always the thought process that I would have. Unless I mentioned I wanted to try something new or I want it, instantly my thought process, do you know me at all? Because it says they've been together for 5 years, married for 2. So to me, I would think he would know what stuff she likes, what stuff she's interested in. But to me, it sounds like he's a little disconnected where he doesn't really get stuff that she's interested in, maybe. I'm gonna return these rocks I found outside for my girl. She probably wants a 20,000 ring instead. You assume, but to me, he's not giving her sentimental gifts. He's literally buying her random knickknacks on Temu or on Instagram ads or on TikTok shop. She didn't say he got her anything that was sentimental. She was saying that he was basically buying her crap that wasn't crap that she naturally would have, that she would own. Because, for example, what he could have did was, if he wanted to get her a little shirt that represented their baby, all he had to do was get her like a graphic tee that was black, since she likes black, and it could have had the baby's date of birth on it. Literally could have just did something simple like that, and she probably would have appreciated it because it's something she would actually wear. Timu is cheap. It is. And he wasn't showing his love from the heart. I feel like the bear was cute, but it's not her style. So it gives he don't really know her, don't pay attention to her for real. Excuse me. Okay. So Liam said, so 10 years ago, I was working in a store, and this new girl started working. She claimed she was a lesbian, but took a shine to me. After about 3 months, a coworker said she, after about 3 months as a coworker, she said she fancied me. See, you can never be safe with people who claim to be something they not. It's just like people who claim to be asexual, but then they be talking about the sexy stuff. You gotta be careful. Because I swear, people, that's just like, I want to say Megan Thee Stallion, in one of her songs, she said, she referenced herself as being asexual. And I'm like, babe, do you know what that means? Do you know what that means? When she said that, I think that was one of the reasons why I didn't really want to listen to nothing that she was talking about for real. Because don't get me wrong, I think she maybe has 2 or 3 songs I like, and then the other stuff I don't really like. But when she said that, I was like, you are definitely about the sexy. You are definitely about the sexy. You are not, you can't be with the way you be talking about it. Do you know what asexual means? I feel like people just be throwing words around and not Googling and not having dictionaries nearby. Y'all know we have different brains though. And all we think about is, I think she'll like this. I hope it makes her happy. See, okay. I understand you saying, I think she'll like this. I hope it makes her happy. But there's one thing to say that, and then there's a different thing to not pay attention and you still do stuff like that, because it reminds me of some episodes in sitcoms where um you know, there'll be situations where the husband will buy their significant other gifts, but you clearly see that they are gifts that are not related to interests of their wives, which makes you realize that they don't know their wives very well, or they just chose a random gift and just gave it to her. And it's like, one thing about women, we want gifts that are curated to our interests or stuff that we genuinely like. So it's like, if you buy us something that does not represent us, especially knowing us for a long period of time, we're going to feel some type of way because we're looking at you like, well, do you even like me for real? Because you don't really even know what my interests are. You don't even know what my favorite color is. If I wear black all the time and then you buy me this loud pink shirt, do you know me at all? I like the song where she gets popped in the foot. That's not funny, Electric. You know? I know you trying to be funny, but that's not really funny. And even though I don't really care about Megan Thee Stallion like that, it's like, that's kind of, I don't know. That's not really a good joke. Like, that's not really a good joke. Drake's done it, you know, and I don't care for him either. But like, that's not really a great joke, you know. Sitcoms were great. Did y'all ever watch George Lopez? You know what's funny? I used to watch George Lopez, but I barely remember what happened in George Lopez. Like, I barely remember anything about that show. I just remember the theme song. Down, 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 down. Down, 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 down. Like, I barely remember anything. Didn't he work like at a what was it, an auto shop or something? I can't remember. Damn, they don't always work, my bad. It don't. It really don't. Tough crowd, okay? Like, but yeah, Liam, tell us the rest of your story about the fake lesbian who ended up fancying you after 3 months. Oh, airplane manufacturer. Okay. Yeah, I knew they was doing something with building some type of transportation. But yeah, I don't really remember much about George Lopez. But oh, let me finish reading this though. It says, okay. When he saw my reaction, he got defensive, but then explained he got it because once when we were shopping for our daughter, we bought her a Winnie the Pooh dress, so he thought I like Winnie the Pooh. I don't understand how, out of all my hobbies and interests, this is the one thing he retains, and I didn't even say I liked it generally just as a cute outfit for a baby. Yeah, yeah. The whole situation really just makes me feel like he couldn't care less about being thoughtful and doesn't really see me, you know? I've tried to talk to him in detail about it all the times in the past, but I'm just at a loss. Is it too much to ask for him to be thoughtful? I don't want to come off as ungrateful. It's nice of him to want to get me something, but at this point it's more like he's feeling fulfilling a duty to buy me a gift than doing it because he cares about me. In his defense, he's not that good of a gift giver for others either. But I have seen him do thoughtful things and get thoughtful gifts for others before where he really tries, especially for his twin brother. I don't know what else to do, so I'm trying to see if anyone can explain what I'm feeling better than I can. Yeah, I don't know. In this situation, it just doesn't seem like he actually sees his wife for real. Okay, I was 24 and dumb. Okay, let me start from the beginning from what Liam said. Okay, he said, so 10 years ago, I was working in a store and this new girl started working. She claimed she was a lesbian but took a shine to me. After about 3 months, a coworker said she had fancied me. I was 24 and dumb. Man, I've been there. Been there. Eventually, we moved in together. Then one day, I see a random video on my Google Drive for someone called Daddy Dave. Turns out she was working as an e-girl and had a master. She. She would perform for on camera. That's crazy. So, you were dating a cyber girl. So, okay. Did she actually talk to you about this? Because, your story, it reminds me of this situation I read about on Reddit like 3, 4 years ago, but it vividly was stuck in my mind because it was probably one of the best stories I ever read. So, in this Reddit story, what happened was this guy was talking to this girl. Now, they had been together. I want to say it had been at least 2 or 3 years. He had been dating this girl. And I want to say the subject of OnlyFans, like it was just a casual topic that came up. And he basically belittled the idea of, people hopping on OnlyFans and sharing provocative pictures. She didn't say anything, didn't think anything of it. Now, this guy worked in a very professional space where he would end up getting invited to different events with his job, right? So what ended up happening was his boss invited the team that he was with and a lot of people from the company to this get together, and they could invite their significant others as well. Y'all, the guy brings his girl um to the party and he's chatting with different people, introducing her, stuff like that. Now, on the sidelines, There's a man that works with the guy. He realizes that the girl looks familiar. He's like, I feel like I've known her. I've seen her before. I can't place her. Come to find out, the girl, mind you, he had proposed to her. And keep in mind that she had expressed to him that she was doing, I can't remember what job she said that she had, but she claimed to make money a certain type of way. And I guess come to find out she was actually doing OnlyFans and she was hiding it from him. Um and what ended up happening was, because that guy knew that she was from OnlyFans after he figured it out, he ended up basically connecting the dots. Because the guy ended up telling everybody, big mouth, telling everybody at the party, she's an OF girl, she's an OF girl. So now a decent amount of people knew that he was dating an OF model. Now, one of his friends that worked with him pulled him to the side and was like, hey, um, I forgot how he said it because it was a long time ago where I read this post, but basically his friend ended up telling him that his fiance was an OF, and he was absolutely embarrassed. He didn't realize it. He basically tried to keep a straight face, said his goodbyes, said he had stuff he had to do, pulled her to the side. They got in the car and he went off because he's like, you've been doing all this behind my back. Basically, my coworkers know that you do this now. The fact that some of the people there were subscribed to her, has seen her, like, in provocative state. And he basically went off on her and was also like, I thought you worked this job. Couldn't find out the lady had lied about everything that she was doing as far as work. And he found out that basically she was doing the OF for work. And he was honestly just venting. Because I want to say he did break up with her because she lied too much about too much stuff. But I don't know. That was just like a crazy situation to me because it's like, let me ask y'all, what would you do if you were dating somebody and you didn't know and they told you they were doing a different type of job and then come to find out they're doing OF? Like, how would you feel about that? Because me personally, I would dump them. Not everybody needs to see everything. Yeah, I liked Fresh Prince and Martin. Well, I like Martin to a degree, but rewatching it as an adult, I feel like Gina should have dumped him and left him alone. But that's just me. Oh, that's cute. He wasn't listening. He wasn't. She sounds like a mime. I had zero knowledge. That's crazy. I couldn't imagine how you were feeling, man, especially because you were living with her. I think I know where this story is going. These stories make my head hurt. I can't solve everyone's issues. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Project Pat. My situation wasn't as bad as that, but it would be destroying all the same. It really would. But it was so destroying all the same. I bet. Because, I don't know. I couldn't imagine being in a situation like that where. And my thing is, how often do you be having that junk on where you doing your e-girl stuff? Like, are you in that pop-up ads of the corn sites? You know, I said corn, 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 okay? But, I don't know. It just, I don't like stuff like that because it's like, it'd be one thing if people were upfront and told you, like, this is what I do. But it's another thing to hide it or to start it, because in the guy that was on Reddit's case, the girl has started it like in the middle of them being together, which is crazy. And basically she hid a whole secret life that she was doing. Cause I feel like if you're gonna do stuff like that, you in my opinion, you do need consent from your partner to do stuff like that because y'all are a couple. But also it's just a factor of what about when you have kids? You know, I feel like people don't be thinking about the impact that could do on their children. Like, could you imagine down the line somebody's mom was doing that and then years later you go to hang out with a friend at school and then the dad meets your mom and then it's like, "Oh, I used to subscribe to this chick. I know what she looks like under there." Like, could not imagine. That's an easy boot. That's why Gina the ride or die. Gina could have did better. She could have did better than Martin. I don't care what anybody says because he had a big ego and he had selfish moments. The person you're with is an extension and representation of you. I agree. I wouldn't care for real as long as it's not illegal, but I would be upset about not knowing because if you're gonna lie about a career choice, what else will you lie about? It will take a while to get over it. See, and that's the thing. Because okay, so here's something about me. I am a jealous individual, okay? But it's like under certain circumstances. So, if I was aware that okay, so it's one thing if the person I'm talking to if they were doing that before me and expressed to me like, yeah, I'm an OF model. Okay, bet. I don't want you. I don't want you. And the only reason why I say that, well, actually, it's multiple reasons I say that. Firstly, and this is probably a cancelable take, but if you want to do that type of work, fine. However, what I don't like is how sometimes people will do that work and not realize that they are still taking advantage of people and they could be taking advantage of certain mental illnesses that they have where some people have certain addictions if y'all know what I mean um or taking advantage of people's loneliness to create fake relationships in exchange for transactional money. I don't like stuff like that and I feel like a lot of people who do OF will act like they're innocent and stuff like that. They're just saying, "Oh, I'm being powerful because I'm showing off," or they'll be like, "I'm doing this to make money," but at the same time, you're still kind of taking advantage of people. You still are kind of taking advantage of people's loneliness or people who, again, have certain addictions. Um, and then the other thing is, I if I'm dating somebody, I'm sorry, I don't want the whole streets, the whole world to have access to that body, okay? like, like I would not want everybody to have access to knowing what that ping look like. What things that are descriptors of you, what they would know like. Where they wanking off to you, bro. They wanking off to you. Like I like I would not want to be with somebody who has all their business out in the public, in the open. Like, have some, again, it's not for me to be judgmental, but it's like, what's mine is supposed to be mine. Not everybody's supposed to see what's mine. That's mine. like, So, I don't know. It's just, it's not, it takes away from the intimacy a little bit to me because it's like it's for the it's everybody knows it. It's no longer intimate. It's no longer like personal. It's public. And that's the thing that I don't like about OF. If people do it, that's fine, but I couldn't talk to somebody that does it. I could not. But But again, it's because of my perspective of things. The crazy thing was, she had a whole persona like she was not really into guys, and she just like me. Turns out she was a raging ecorn girl. I literally never knew her. That's crazy. And I've met a variety of people who are like that, where they'll say they are a certain what is it? What is it called? What is it? The hetero, homo, sexual, lesbian, LGBTQ. It's a certain phrase, but they'll like say they're something, but really they're not. They're like bi, or they're really hetero, or they're demisexual, stuff like that. And it's like, girl, you don't have to lie about what you like. You like what you like, but why you gotta lie? Because some people will flat out lie, like how some women will lie and say that they're asexual, but some of them will use it as a deterrent because they don't want guys to think that they are sexual, but then they are, in fact. And then, then when they start warming up to a guy, then they start talking about the sexy stuff. And to me, if I was a man, I would flat out be like, girl, didn't you say you was asexual? Do you even know what that means? Because why are you coming at me like this? Why you flirting with me like this? Like, what's happening? Do you know what you are? Because I know what you are. A liar. We all know someone who spent a bunch of money on OF girls. Here you go. Who it's an extension of who of you, like I was saying, you ain't trying to show the whole world you. Exactly. Me neither. Gotta ask R about that one. Okay, we not about to start talking about people. That's not what this chat is for. It's about having a conversation about situations, but not about other people's business, okay? Like asexual or something like that. Or something, I don't know. It's too many terms. Yes, it's like it's too many different terms to describe people. So I don't know. It's just always so interesting to me when people share certain descriptors, because I always just be sitting there like, do you know what that means? Do you Google? Because one thing about me, if I don't know something and someone says something, I'm going to Google it, because sometimes I do think stuff like I'll hear something and I could interpret something a certain way, but my interpretation is wrong. That's just like, what word was I saying that I found out was wrong? It was a specific word I kept saying all the time. Oh, behoove. I kept saying behoove wrong all the time. Like, and then I finally found out, wait, was it behoove? I think it was behoove. It was some word that I heard like a TikToker say. And I realized they and everybody on the internet was using it wrong, because I ended up Googling it and I was like, oh, right. I am using this word wrong. I'm not forgetting. I just remember he mentioned him being something where it wasn't a diss. It was maybe we should ask the expert to y'all's questions. See, but he not here. We not talking about that. But I think he be forgetting. Maybe. But oh, let me refresh this. Okay. But yeah, I just I don't know. Oh, I saw he was lurking. My bad. I don't even think I can remember the last time he's been in my live. Excuse me. I know he'll hop in Jasmine's occasionally, but I think he don't know what channel I be going live on. Now, Electric, why is our catching strays when he's not in the chat? Girl, Electric be bringing up stuff, and I go hold you electric. I'll be caring. I'll be caring about stuff that is about other people. Uh, when it comes to you talking about them doing certain things, because I feel like you be trying to stir stuff up. You be messy. You be a little messy. You definitely be a little messy. And I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I do welcome the mess, and then other times I'm like that person not even here. Like, I swear, people who pretend they are happy in polyamorous relationships are just lying. Like, bro, are you effed up? Oh, bro, you are effed up. Wanted to see your girl get. Oh, let's talk about it, Liam. Let's talk about it. He's enjoying marriage in his newborn or upcoming newborn. Exactly, exactly. You're like, I don't care. Shoot. But yes, let's talk about it, Liam. Poly relationships. Now, I'm not one to judge as I'm about to judge. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a very judgmental person. But within me being judgmental, it's more so I am judgmental where like I just look at if people make dumb choices because you should want to do stuff that is going to better your life and not cause you stress. You know what I mean? Liam, did you see Seeking Sister Wives? That was a good topic, Liam. You're like, let me put a disclaimer. I do have to put one because I know sometimes somebody might show up and be sensitive about stuff. And I'm like, listen, if that's your bag, if you want to be poly, you do that. You do that. But make sure you're doing it because that's actually what you want to do. Because a lot of people who are poly, I feel like a lot of them do it to settle. Like, oof. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna say something out of pocket. Something rude. But I feel like it's levels to poly. Okay. So you've got the religious poly people where that's a part of their beliefs, where they are poly and they do it because of whatever beliefs they have, but then they also do it because it's more convenient of a lifestyle where it's like financially a good idea. So you got more money coming into the house. You got multiple people contributing to the house, helping out the house with the cooking and the cleaning and the managing of the house. Then you also potentially have inside daycare. So it's like, I get that aspect of it. But then you have the poly where people actually want to have like a threesome situation where they want to have their cake and eat it too in so many ways where it's like it's okay. Um and then you have situations where well actually I guess it's the same thing where people will date and they may get with somebody and then the person may explain because I remember I had this happen to me. I'll give y'all something that happened to me. Um I remember I was dating this guy for like let's say 3 months. And I feel like this is always a very much of a red flag to me when somebody brings up the concept that they want to do the threesome thing or they want to bring somebody else into the relationship. Because to me, I automatically take that as you cheating on me because from previous experiences, that's definitely what that meant. They were going to cheat on me. Because why are you bringing this up? And this is something that I don't want. And my thing is, if you want that, that's okay. But understand that I am not the person for you. So I feel like you do have to understand if y'all don't want the same things because I do feel like sometimes people will get in these relationships and then somebody will say, "Oh, I want a poly relationship. I want to do that." And then it's like, Well, I'm just gonna do this to make him happy because I don't want to lose him. Or I'm gonna do this to make him happy and then maybe I could change his mind. Or in some cases, the woman might be bi. And then there's also the case of, okay, one thing that I do think is out of fair, which some people may, debate with me on, but I think it's really interesting when men want to do poly, but then they also are like, we can only do a girl. It can only be another girl. Like, what if the woman wants to be with another guy? That sounds so messy, but what does it mean when you date multiple races? I don't know. You like the colors of the wind. I don't know. I don't know. Like you just like different people, types of people, I guess. I mean, I would hope that you're not dating them at the same time because then you're just a cheater of the colors of the wind. But anyways, it's about people in It's about people in polygamy relationships looking for another sister wife, or couples looking to add another wife, or rather, should I say, a man looking for a romantic partner and the woman looking for a friendship. Yeah, see, I wouldn't like that. I would not. Because how is everyone getting their needs met? How do you come to the conclusion that someone won't get jealous of the other person and what they're receiving and what they're getting? What if you care about one partner more than the other? I don't know. It's just a lot to deal with. Just keep it casual and don't say you have a partner. Yeah, because it's like, I don't know. It just sounds like a lot to deal with. What is it called on the opposite end of the OFE girl? Like the dude that just spends money on women online. Um, there's a word for it, but I can't think of it right now. I can't think of what the word is. And the way it don't like that show, there was a show like that, Brother Husbands. Brother Husbands? That sounds so unserious, but also let me Google because I might want to watch that. Brother Husbands. That's just like it was this woman on YouTube. She was a black woman and she went viral because she has a husband, but then she also has a boyfriend. And I'm assuming it's like a bi situation. And she had them both of them guys up there and they were just it was so interesting to me. Like I was really sitting there quite baffled like wow, so you got a man and your boyfriend there and they're okay with it. I was quite curious to how about how the relationship was gonna go. Oh, that's me then. I'm the colors of the wind. That's called Lonely Fool, bruh. Yes, but I think it got canceled. Oh, it did. It got 4.9 stars out of 10. That's unfortunate. Documenting the ups, downs, and everything in between as polyandrous relationships navigate boundaries and life-changing decisions while working to add additional husbands to their families. What is polyandrous? Let's Google. A form of polygamy where one woman takes two or more husbands simultaneously. It's a rare mating system. It's the way they say in mating like the animals. But anyways, it's a rare mating system practiced in limited cultures like Tibet or parts of India and Africa to consolidate family land, prevent property division, and manage scarce resources. Mm. Brother Husband only had one season. Oh, I thought so, Liam, but I got criticized for saying that one time. I mean, do you know somebody who pays for OF content? Electric? A man and a boyfriend, I would be saving all my coins. She barely. I made it a couple times. You would be in a polyandrous situation, Electric, where your wife would be married to you and another man? Wow, that is so progressive of you, Electric. You said you made it a couple times, and I was talking about the rare mating system of polyandrous. Is that something you would want to do? uh, Wait a minute, I just caught Electric shade. Yeah, Electric be throwing shade low key. I mean, I feel like we all kind of know someone that does, that pays for OF. Come on. Come on. No, heck no, that's sick. I genuinely can't get my head around paying for corn when pHs is. Exactly. Exactly. Or the hamster one. You're messy, Electric. I made it with multiple race. Remember colors of the wind. Remember? I'm just messing with you. uh, I'm petty. But yeah, I don't know. Like, poly relationships are always so interesting to me. Now, one thing I will say, Jasmine, I can't believe you didn't catch his shade yet. I definitely did. I was just not acknowledging it. I keep telling Electric stop talking about other people in the live, especially when they not in the live. Like, me leader, I like, girl, Jasmine, I know your game. But no, but like I've seen people be in poly relationships, and I'm gonna just tell y'all right now, I feel like when you switch from monogamy to polygamy, that's when stuff just messes up. And then I want to say this, and this is about to sound so mean, but it's always so interesting to me how, and it's not all the time, but when I hear about people doing the polygamy, and then when I see what they look like, and I'm not saying they ugly, I'm not saying that, but they do look unique. And I really just be sitting there like, are you saying that you're in a polygamous situation because your significant other wants that, but that's not what you want? Because a lot of times, I do feel like some people will doubt themselves. And, I get it because we all do have some sort of forms of doubt over periods of times in our life. You know what I mean? But if someone tells me, oh, I. Listen, I'm just saying, like, because I be trying not to call people ugly, but some people, they do be a little questionable looking, and I'm sorry to that man. I'm sorry, but that don't mean you have to take scraps and that you have to be okay with being in polygamous relationships. I'm not talking about anyone specific. I'm just saying we might just know someone who is about that opinion stuff. Jeez, y'all, it's not anyone specific, but if a name popped y'all heads, it's Electric. I just was like, how did I know where you go with that? I will say it. They are all look like swamp people. I swear, like, it do be questionable in the face looking ones. And, again, if your person tells you, I want to go do polygamy stuff and you should be okay with it, they don't gotta be okay with it. It's like sometimes I feel like people who be in them situations too, I feel like they think that nobody else could potentially like them or love them. And it's so sad to me. But I'm like, listen, just fix yourself up. You know what I'm saying? Get a nice haircut, wash your hair, put on some smell goods, stand up straight, work on your posture, build that confidence, hit the gym. You know, it's like, and you know, that, see, I just came up with another topic I want to talk to y'all about. But let me read these comments first. On Seeking Sister Wives, that's the thing with the Merrifields. I don't think his first wife really wanted, just based on everything that happened. Yeah, sometimes people feel like they have to do that stuff. And it's like, you can say no when somebody brings up something to you. Because it's like, if that wasn't agreed on before y'all got married, you can definitely say, I don't want to bring another person into this relationship because it would make me unhappy. I've always been a monogamy type of person. I don't want to add anybody else. I mean, and if that person want to leave because of that, so be it, because they don't respect you and they don't care about how you feel. Because I don't know, I just think that's mad messed up to do something like that. Some people be looking like frogs and roosters, and do. I don't know, she ain't left yet, and that poor Lorena girl. It's highly entertaining. Get off OF, get a better job. We all agree, Jasmine. I be watching her facial expression, and it definitely gives her comfortable. Yeah, it's like, it's stuff like that where it's like, if you're unhappy, you don't have to have that situation. Excuse me, y'all. Like, you really don't have to be allowing like that stuff to happen. Like, the union of which y'all got married is between you and your husband, or you and your wife. You don't have to bring somebody else into it. But I think a lot of them, they be so scared that they significant other is going to want to let them go because they don't want the same things. I feel for them, I do, but it's like, that's why you got to speak up. You really got to speak up for yourself and advocate for yourself if you don't want something. Like, it's one thing if you do, but it's another thing if you don't. And that's not where you saw your life headed, or you didn't see yourself being in a polygamy type of situation. And God, don't forget that. This is true, but you know, a lot of people be focused on the Old Testament where they talked about men having multiple wives and stuff. And it's like, I mean, I don't know. You know, that's a whole different discussion. But personally, I'm like, if I'm somebody that's into monogamy, then let's do that. Let's not try to add the other people in. And if that's what you want to do, then we shouldn't be together. But that leads me to my nose. Will you ever be in a poly relationship for $500,000 for 3 years? Hell no. Hell no. Like, you could offer me any amount of money for different stuff that would compromise my morals, and I would still say no. Because, don't get me wrong, a lot of money would be helpful. However, if I know this is going to be something that I'm going to be thinking about or feeling negatively about for a long period of time, which would probably take off some years of my life because I'm going to probably be stressed or unhappy, which is probably going to cause internal health issues, I'm good on that. Oh, you said God. Well, yeah, I agree. Because, you know, people they definitely did add stuff in there that probably, well, we all know that the Bible was made by man. So it's stuff in there that they just probably wanted us to adhere to as far as certain rules. 455 million? Nope. I'm still good on anything that's compromising my morals and stuff that I know would piss me off, it ain't worth the money. Because I will say, if I get angry and I get pissed off, it's gonna affect everybody. It's gonna affect everybody. And usually, I'm a person that does not get mad. Like, I don't really get mad or angry, but when I do, it fills up a room. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's like a certain energy that's just negative, and I would be negative the whole time. Like, oh, I gotta share my man for money. I gotta watch this and be okay with it. No. Grimy, please. Well, that makes sense. I was about to say something out of pocket, but that makes sense for Grimy. How many partners for you, Grimy? Bruh. If you are proposition with an amount of money, that means you don't love the other person, so I would happily take the money. Well, yeah, I mean, if you don't love the person, sure, but it's like if you're in a polygamous relationship with somebody you love, and then you gotta watch them interact or be physical with somebody else, no. If all you have to do is legally marry them and you don't even have to live with them or anything like that, I'll take the money. The 455 million. I mean, but see, to me, that's not actual polygamy then. Because when I think of you actually doing the polygamy situation, you are going all in. Like, you are sharing a household, you are committing to all your duties, emotional, physical, verbal, whatever types of duties, and you got to be okay with whatever comes with it. Like, that person got to like both of y'all, and you got to be okay with them being intimate with both of y'all. Right, Grimy, how are you doing? My bad, I forgot to ask. How are you? No, living with them for 3 years. Yeah, no, that's not it. The question was being married for 3 years. The question wasn't living with them. Well, she said, will you ever be in a poly relationship for 500,000 for 3 years? And if you're saying poly relationship, that means you gotta do poly relationship stuff. So. Oh, I'm not watching someone in the corner. Bruh. What are they called? Cooks. I think that's the word they call them. But yeah, I couldn't imagine doing that because somebody, I catch a case. There is no way I would be okay with that. Because again, I'm a very jealous gal. I'm a very jealous person. Like, no. Being in a relation with somebody doesn't even have to be legally bound. It's just a status. Okay. When T Berry says relationship, I'm assuming, and you could clarify, T Berries. I'm assuming she's saying you gotta do and be okay with the relationship aspect. It's not just, oh, it's a title. If that was the case, anybody could do that. You don't really have to be present in your relationship if you don't want to, right? Never said it would be a good relationship, bro. That's not the deal. That would not be the correct part of the deal. You can't be finding loopholes. That's not, no. That's not how it's supposed to go. Red flag. At this point, it's just an investment. I'm gonna tell you right now, ain't no way. Ain't no way. Mm-mm. But it was something else I was gonna talk to y'all about. What was the other thing? Oh, I remember. I was talking about ugly people. So, Grammy, I'm not watching my girl I care about get D down by another man. Exactly. Because that's what it would entail. So, okay. Now, let's go back to the uglies and the poly, okay? Now, okay, well, not necessarily them specifically, but for some reason, YouTube, and it was because I was nosy. It was because I was nosy. YouTube randomly recommended me this video about this woman that was saying she was ugly. And the video went viral. It had like 100K plus views. Okay, when we say relationship, assume we mean what is in a relationship, okay? Just give me the money. All about the cash. All about the cash. But anyways, so the video I saw, this girl was talking about how she was ugly, couldn't get a man, all this stuff, whoop-de-whoop, right? Now, I was annoyed for multiple reasons within watching this video because I've come across a few videos like this where people would share how they were ugly and tell their stories about being ugly. Damn, my YouTube shorts has sneaker trades and fishy stuff. What you looking up? I don't know, bro. But I definitely wasn't looking up ugly people trilogies, okay? And the thing that was blowing me about this whole thing, like, they recommended me two different chicks. And then they started recommending me other stuff, but I kept clicking, don't recommend, not interested. I kept saying that because I'm like, stop showing me these ugly videos. I don't wanna watch this because it's the same tale every time. But the thing that was getting me about these videos, the girls were not really ugly. It just gave that they weren't putting effort into their looks and they were lazy. That's what it was given as I was watching these videos. And it was getting annoying to me because the first girl I watched, she got up there and I slightly felt bad for her. But then as she continued talking, I was like, no, I don't feel bad for you because you are acting like people just roll out of bed looking pretty and they don't. Most people don't. There are a select few people in the world that sure they might roll out of bed look pretty, but for the most women, we have to put in effort. No, it was some girls that were like petite that were having this conversation. And you know, again, I'm like, you come up on this YouTube channel, and I'm not gonna judge nobody for coming up on YouTube looking on any old kind of way, because I be on YouTube looking on any old kind of way. But my thing is too, you can't say that you're ugly for real and you're not putting in the effort to look cute. This girl didn't comb her hair. She got stains, food stains on her clothes. She just threw on any type of baggy shirt. And the thing that was blowing me too was a lot of these girls had beautiful skin. Beautiful skin. And the thing that blew me even more was the fact that people was in the comments almost like agreeing that they were ugly. And I'm like, the standards, beauty standards are subjective, you know? It's like, if you are comparing yourself to people on TikTok and Instagram, obviously you're probably going to feel some type of way because you don't look that way. Recently, my YouTube recommended videos about people being scammed by beauty and fashion brands for Coachella. You know, that's crazy because I've been getting Coachella videos, but it's been people complaining about how much it costs and how people are spending like 100K to go to Coachella, which is crazy. Nappy hair and stains. I mean, I just think they needed to run a comb and a new shirt, basically. But again, my thing is, I just really don't like, and I get it. I get it to a degree if somebody feels like they aren't the best looking person. I feel like people just have their days when they don't feel their best, right? But when it comes to stuff like that, and then you realize, oh, you're just not putting in effort into the way that you look, and the fact that you have even said out of your mouth, oh, somebody should just love me and accept me as I am. This is the thing. It's much easier to have somebody accept you as you are when you put some effort into yourself. And you also, how do I say this? Because I don't know if this is exactly a true fact or not, and I could be saying something wrong. But I feel like I don't want to say when you love yourself, you look your best self necessarily, because I could love myself and be in a bonnet. Literally just woke up from a nap with drool on my face and I love myself because I took that damn nap. But I will say, I feel like, since men like visual things, visually pleasing things, it's like it makes sense for you to put a little effort into your look. And then over time, you can start revealing your true self. Ah, yeah, you fall asleep, it's a little drool here and there. Oh, she's not wearing eyelashes today. Okay, okay. Oh, wow, she took her wig off in front of me. That hair is unkempt. Oh, man, so her waist wasn't slim thick. She's wearing a girdle. Like, it's levels. But it's like after a while, once the physical aesthetics, when you take them away after you spend so much time with somebody, eventually it's not a problem anymore because they've fallen for your personality aside from the looks. A whole transformer. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You're more conservative than you appear, Jasmine. I'm So this is the thing about me. I am definitely a liberal. However, I do have conservative views on some things. I'm not an extremist. Like I don't really like the concept of being extremist with anything because that's when you have potential problems. Like people will be extremists and then they don't see the flaws that comes with being extremist, or like when you have extreme views. And I don't like that because that causes chaos. Like you have to have balance. But regardless, definitely, once you fall in love with someone, it doesn't matter how they look. Exactly. And that's why you have to put effort into your looks. And because I'll even tell y'all, I I feel like sometimes I have let myself go with my husband. But when I put myself together, it's like, oh, okay, there's your girl. But then, it's like you also have to try to keep up with yourself. I feel like, when it came to the pandemic was kind of what threw me and made me a little bit more lazy about my looks. But I'm working on myself. I'm working on it. More centered than not far left or far. Yeah, yeah, I'm more centered. I agree. Some people go too far. Yes. Um, but with these girls saying that they are ugly, again, it's just like they will talk about different aspects. Like they'll talk about their skin color or their weight, being too skinny, too fat. Um, they'll talk about different things. And again, you also can see, like, based on their content or photos they've posted, because I do be deep diving into other people's lives sometimes when I have nothing to do. Sometimes I really will sit there and somebody will share a video about how they feel they ugly, and then I will go and look because some people just be wanting compliments. You know what I mean? Some people will literally come on Facebook to tell their sob story, and it's just the fact that they want validation or they want compliments or, you know. So sometimes I will go to people's Instagrams and I'll look to see if they put an effort into the way that they look, because this will tell me a lot. If you are taking time, but then again, it is kind of hard because sometimes some people just don't actively share, on social media, which I get. But again, if you're coming on here presenting yourself a certain way, and I've never seen you look where you put some effort into the way that you look, it's kind of like, okay, well, I mean, if you're telling the crowd that you feel like you're ugly and you're never chosen, babe, you're not dressing up. Like, you're not taking time to put a little effort into your look. So you looking frumpy and dumpy, and the guys are ignoring you because you're not sparkling, you're not shining. And not to say that you have to sparkle and shine, but it's just to, like, again, do your hair, comb it at least. Put on some earrings. Don't just wear sweats all the time. Don't just wear. I don't know. It's just very odd to me when people do stuff like that. Like, it just really makes me feel like you're complaining and you're not even trying. You're not even trying. And you're trying to blame it and give reason like, "Oh, I'm ugly." I think she said she was going live tomorrow. But yeah, it's like, I don't know. I just don't like when people say that they're ugly and they don't try. Because you want to be a victim so bad. That's like a pet peeve of mine. I do not like people who victimize themselves all the time. Like, it's one thing if you go through something and that's your story, and you go through it and you experience it and it sucks and you share it. You know what I mean? But it's completely different if you're sharing this story like it's fact, but you're not even putting in effort. You're not even putting in effort. It's like, and sometimes, again, a lot of these girls, I'm looking at them, you don't have to do much. Okay, bye, T Berries. Talk to you tomorrow. But yeah, it's like you don't even have to do that much, bro. And it's just really unfortunate. Guess if you look all plain Jane. Exactly. It's like if you wear clothes that don't make your body look correctly. Because this is something I have to work on. I have to work on dressing for my body. Because sometimes we'll see stuff on other people or like see stuff on a mannequin and we'll be thinking, well, I could wear that. No, no. Because if your body shape isn't the same, it might not go with. But then again, it could also just be the confidence thing. Like, people could wear whatever they want, but I know I was looking at this thing where it shows like how to dress for your body. And that's something that I'm gonna be working on buying pieces for. Because I do feel like there's some science to that type of stuff. I'm doing a live this Friday, just a little special one, and I'll be live Saturday too. Okay, I will be in both of them. Actually, no. I don't think I'll be in the live Saturday because I have a Dungeons and Dragons session, so I'm probably gonna miss the Saturday live, to be honest, because our sessions normally go for like 3 or 4 hours. But I'll be in Fridays though. Um, remember SpongeBob said he was ugly and proud? Some people don't try, if I'm being honest. They really don't. They really don't. And, you know, again, I also think people confuse what trying is because sometimes you don't really need to do much. Like, I will say sometimes less is more, but um it just really depends. Like some people think they need to wear a wig, need to wear makeup and stuff, but sometimes it's just like just have your hair done and wear some earrings and you good. Literally, put on some lip gloss and you good. Turns out his breath just bruh. Do you think that you may be coming from a place whereby you are attractive and it isn't the same for some people? So, I will give you a very specific example of something that I experienced where I realized that effort is very important. One day, I was supposed to go somewhere, right? And I went in the beauty supply store. Now, mind you, I went in a beauty supply store and then it was somewhere else I went that I had to go back, but I can't remember what the other place was. The people in the beauty supply store did not acknowledge me. Keep in mind, I was wearing a bonnet, I was wearing leggings, and I was wearing a graphic tee. I did not have no makeup on. I was going in there. The people saw me, but they did not acknowledge me. I bought my stuff left out. I got ready, put my clothes on, got ready. I had to go back to the beauty supply because I forgot something. Mind you, the second time I went in, I looked put together. I had makeup on and my hair was done. My outfit was completely different. I walked in there. Everybody greeted me. The same people that were in there before that did not greet me when I was in there prior. And they looked me dead in my face. They did not greet me when I first went in there at the beginning of the day. But then when I came in there looking more presentable, they greeted me, interacted with me, and were way more kinder, responsive to me, even joked with me. Something about that situation made me realize, and I could be overthinking. I really could be looking too deep into it. But I really feel like it made me think when you don't put effort into the way that you look, people don't acknowledge you the same. Like, people really don't be acknowledging you the same. Because I feel like I've had other experiences like that before. Not same day, but like where I would go to somewhere I frequent. And if I didn't look my best, I didn't get the same acknowledgement as when I went to those same places and looked my best. And, um, again, I just think, sure, I'll be honest and say that I know that um I'm not an ugly girl, right? Like I know that I'm not an ugly girl. I know that I have moments where I really don't be putting together and I just be looking like whatever. And then when I put myself together, I look like something for real, right? But I feel like a lot of people, well, not a lot, but there are some people that will say that they're ugly. And literally, it's just the fact that they don't know maybe how to put themselves together or they just don't try. They don't try. And it's like, you know, they might spend their money on other things versus stuff to make themselves look pretty. Maybe they don't care. But at the same time, I'm like, you have to care if you want to get somebody to some degree. Cause sure, you could probably end up meeting somebody some type of way. And then it's also the factor that they will also not go anywhere. That's another pet peeve of mine for a lot of people I know actually. If you complain about not having somebody and you don't leave the house, or like, I don't know, like to me, that junk kind of bothers me a little bit because I'm like, you could have probably met somebody if you went out, if you stepped out. Um, oh, okay, you have fun, girl. Thank you. You good. What the heck? I didn't get a Dungeons and Dragons invite. No. I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons since I think 2019, 18. We've been playing the same campaign. It's actually a lot of fun. I might have to include that in one of my vlogs if I remember to record it anyways. But I end up cussing in that a lot though. But some people just look for the easy victim route, then try to present themselves better. They want someone to blame instead of not being lazy. Exactly. And it's really unfortunate that that could be applied with a lot of things. It's not even just this. You know, a lot of people, for example, they could repetitively have horrible situations happen to them in life. Um, or like situations where they're constantly falling out with people and then they'll blame everybody else, but then don't realize the common denominator is them, which is always wild to me. But I realize that those people either don't have self awareness or they don't want to be accountable. But to me, it's crazy if you go through the same situations back to back to back, and or it's the fact that you got bad judgment. You got way bad judgment. Yes, you're pretty. Thank you. I appreciate that. I hear that, but you have the ability to look your best, so people don't have that opportunity. Okay, Liam, so it's one thing if people are poor, you know what I mean? But the girls, because for example, there's always that picture of Rihanna that goes around where people talk about, you're not ugly, you're just poor. And it's this picture of her when she was a kid. Mind you, I think that is so crazy because again, she was a kid. So, but again, that could be the case for a lot of people. But in the case of some of these girls that made these videos on YouTube, they be spending their money on other stuff. So it's like you could probably save some money and spend it on a couple of things or a couple of pieces to make yourself look good and then try. You know what I mean? Because even for me, I have a tight budget, but I also manage my money in a way where I'm like, okay, I'm going to work on getting these pieces over the course of a year or 2 years. It's not like you have to buy everything, but if you actually want to put effort into the way that you look, it's like there are things you can do. It's just like, for example, um, if you want to work on certain physical things, it's like, okay, try to work on your health. If possible, eat more fruits and veggies, stuff like that, you know. It's stuff people could do, it's just if they want to do it. Or it's the fact that people don't even research stuff. It's like the library is free. You could go in there and research all types of stuff, but people don't really think about it or don't want to. I'm handsome and I'm proud. Talk your talk, king. That's what's up. I make my own D&D function, Rose. You trying to play or what? He like, what about me? Oh, me, I don't know how to play. Me neither. I wish I was more creative because I would probably do a D&D campaign with y'all because I actually think it would be really fun. It's like I'm creative, but not. For example, my husband is the dungeon master, And when I tell you he has created some of the most intricate like storylines and stuff and worlds, like background stories of the worlds, and it's so interesting to me how he came up with different stuff. And sometimes he'll explain it to me how he does it, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't know if I could do that. Or I know if I did, it would be mad raunchy and I'd probably get canceled. And then why you ask? Because I wanted to be in the mix. Liam, you in there what? Not the crazy one is what's name. Health is wealth. It is. Rose, help out here. The ridiculously attractive rapper. I forget her name. Megan, Cardi, which one? Glorilla. Oh, he's here. Not the really famous girl for about 15 years. 15? It's a rapper? Let's see. So you said Megan, Cardi, Glorilla. You got Nicki. Doja Cat, I guess, if you consider her a rapper. Lil Kim. Nicki Minaj, yes. Oh nah, when I play, I gotta be the dungeon master. So you creating the world then. And you gotta create the battles that are gonna happen. Is it Nicki or someone else? I don't really listen to her anymore. Have you seen her before plastic surgery? She actually looked very cute before plastic surgery, but she was also young. Honestly, I wish she would have stayed the way that she looked, but sometimes people be unhappy with the way that they look. It's really unfortunate. That's just like Lil Kim. Lil Kim was so beautiful to me, but she got all those plastic surgeries. And it's really unfortunate in her case cuz I don't know, you just really see that some people do be going through some stuff mentally where they don't like the way that they look and they always feel like I got to do something else to make myself look like this. Or apparently people sometimes become addicted to plastic surgery. I heard that's a thing. And that's unfortunate. I have to say I'm happy with how she looks now. Are you, Liam? What about Tiny? Tiny Bill funny. Um, you know, it's unfortunate. Like I wish she wouldn't have got certain surgeries that she got. I still think it's mad crazy that she changed her eye color. Like, girl, you could have went blind. And then it's the fact that her daughter tried to do the same thing and she had to get hers taken out because hers were causing her issues. Nicki Minaj is obscenely attractive. I mean, she's pretty. It just depends on the angle of that butt. You know what I mean? Because sometimes it looked like it could run away from her. You know what I mean? But that's what happens. Because she's never been an ugly girl. She's been a crazy girl. It's just not the butt. Yeah. The butt, she may need to fix that diaper. You know what I mean? Because it's looking a little limp loose, a little detached from the rest of the figure. You know what I mean? It's truly unfortunate. You know what else is detached? That mind. But we won't talk about it. I can't take it. It depends on the direction. I'm just saying, man. That's probably why she reacting the way that she do. Some of that stuff that went to the brain. The face is beautiful, totally plastic, but that is surgery that went incredibly well. Did she have surgery on her face? No, no, she's always had a pretty face. The mind definitely gone. Agreed. Her nose, really? I didn't even think it was anything wrong with her nose. It's always so interesting to me, when it comes to people getting nose jobs and stuff, because I don't know. I don't know. Maybe if I didn't like my nose, I would probably feel that the way that they did, you know? But all right, y'all. I'm gonna give y'all 10 more minutes and then I'm gonna hop off of here. I do appreciate you guys for coming in and chatting with me, though. We did talk about some interesting topics today, from the Reddit chit chats to polygamy, polyandry, ugly people. um, yeah. Has anyone seen Minaj before she was famous? It's a totally different face. I mean, I saw her in that one interview, and to me, she still kind of looked the same. It's just she looked like a younger version of herself. You're welcome. Glad I was able to stay through the whole thing this time. I appreciate you. I did. She was making songs for WWE Divas. Was she? That's some lore I did not know. Few Child, has anybody seen that lesbian on TikTok who talking about she only talk what? She made Victoria's theme song about she only talk to something and one eye be going one way and one eye be going the other way. Oh, is she cockeyed? I think that's what they call it. Either that or she could be blind in one eye. What y'all about to do the rest of y'all night, anyways? To white girly, like she has a preference, which is fine, but she is kind of rude. Is she black? Are you talking about the legally blind lady that's old? Is the lady you talking about black? Finish editing. Okay, okay. Go to the pool hall. Okay. Oh. So she basically saying she's black and only wants to talk to white women? Pop hold it out. Oh, she young and look a hot mess. I really don't like, y'all heard what happened with that one influencer girl um who ended up, I guess, dead, and people think it was her Caucasian husband. I will say, I really don't like when people, like, it's one thing to date outside your race because you found somebody that you really like. It's another thing to date outside your race because you think your own race isn't good. Because to me, that's weird. That's so weird to make that statement like, oh, I don't date black men. And I'm a black woman, but I'll date a white man. Like, You're weird. You're a weirdo. Like, I don't know. That joke is so weird to me. Or like, where some black men are like, I don't date black women. You're black. Your mother's black. You came from a black coochie. What are you talking about? What do you mean you don't date black women? That's weird. It also gives fetishism a little bit. Cause again, it's different if you meet somebody, you end up liking them, and they outside of your race. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's another thing to just say flat out you don't like dating people that's your same race color. Like, what'd they ever do to you? You're weird. I was a C-section. Okay, so you came out your mom's underbelly or belly, because I forget where they actually cut when it comes to C-sections. But I'm just saying, that joke is so weird to me. But I don't know. I know it's just really weird to me the way people have preferences. Also, we do not talk about other people's relatives, okay? We only keep it between person to person. We don't do relative talking. But electric. But yeah, I don't know. It's really sad when I hear about stuff like that happening, but it's unfortunate that that situation happened with that girl. I'm not gonna engage. Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, Grammy. But what y'all doing this weekend? I'm sorry, y'all. My energy just got a little low. Probably because I'm getting a little sleepy. Oh my gosh. Excuse me. I thought that Michael Jackson movie was out this weekend. I really want to see that. I really do. Hopefully, chill Sunday. I gotta go to church. Okay, I see you. I see you. You good. But it's next. It's hard to keep the energy up. It is once it hits 11. I'm going to WrestleMania. Ooh, have fun. I hope you see Jade. I don't know who else is going to be there. But I swear, seeing Jade in person with Bianca Belair, amazing. Amazing. So now my plans are up in the air. Well, maybe you could just have a relaxing weekend. I think it comes out next weekend. Y'all gonna watch it in the theaters or not wait for the stream? I think I potentially might watch it in theaters, but then again, I don't know. I may wait for stream. Because originally I was going to go to the theaters and I thought about dressing up and stuff. But now I'm like, I don't know if I'm actually going to see it in theaters. Because I know I definitely want to see Devil Wears Prada. I'm going to see that. And then I know I'm seeing that new Spider-Man movie when it comes out in July, I think. Man, Jade in person is just a goddess. She is. And both her and Bianca. Gotta make it a date night. Oh, for sure. Either that. Well, I know I'm going to see Devil Wears Prada with my mom and my aunt. Um but the other ones I'm going with my husband and potentially some friends, depending. But all right, y'all. Thank you so much for coming to my live stream. Y'all see regular show coming back on. I have never watched that show a day in my life. I've only seen clips of that show. I have seen maybe 2 episodes of Rick and Morty. I want to say it was on HBO. I'm not sure if it still is. Maybe I'll start watching it one of these days. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming to the live stream tonight. I'll be back again next Thursday. Well, then I heard they're both good shows. I just never watched them. Cuz at the time when they were on, I didn't have cable, but now I think yeah, maybe I'll start watching it on HBO. Isn't it on? Yeah. I think I'll start watching it on there. I may have to give it a watch. But yeah. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. And I'm gonna be like the Rose Rundown and do top fans. At number 1, we got the Rose Rundown. Hey. Number 2, we got Electric. Woo woo. Number 3, we got Liam. Woo woo. Number 4, we got Grimy. Woo woo. Number 5, T Berries. Woo woo. Number 6, Mark. Woo woo. And number 7, Steronimo. Woo woo. Thank you, Guru. You too. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and I'll be seeing y'all again Thursday. Coming for y'all spot. Yes, you did well today, Electric. But no more talking about people though. In the near future, no more talking about people, bringing people up. Okay, you got to work on that. That's something we will work on. Okay. Peace, y'all. See y'all next week. Well, I know Jasmine's going live Friday and she's going live Saturday. Yeah. But anyways, hope y'all have a great rest of your night, great weekend. I'll be seeing y'all again soon. Stay blessed. I can't talk. Stay blessed, stay positive. Bye, y'all.